Everyone, this is Fabio and welcome back. And today it's time for the pickups of both December and January, since I was away for the most part of December and for the first week of January, so I wasn't able to make any new video. But a game discussion is coming, and also something else. So now that I'm back here in London and back in control of my life after the Christmas break. Um, I'm finally back and um, making videos. Um, Pickups. There is a lot of stuff because both by my own, by myself, and thanks to others, I managed to gather a lot of stuff. Just Christmas presents and other stuff, and there is like movies, books, games, whatever you like. Most of it actually, I'm not been able to show it to you because I'm talking about PS3 games. But now my PS3 is in Italy, since I brought it back home where I was able to use it finally, where I have this huge HD television and where I played Mass Effect 1 and 2 in all their glory. But I decided to leave it there since here I don't have a television, not even lower resolution and definition. So for the moment, no PS3, even though I have 7 new games, and I'm just going to um, talk about them briefly. So after that, we can move to the things I can actually show you. So when I went back to Italy for the Christmas break, the 19, 17, something like that, I went quite frequently to GameStop, since yes, we have GameStop in Italy, by the way, and they had Christmas sales, so a lot of like second-hand games for PS3 and other consoles were really cheap. So I took advantage of the situation and bought 5 games on my own. The other two were a present, the Christmas present from my best friend, and it's awesome. It gave me really cool games. Let's start from the beginning. The first game was, I'm not in order, I don't remember which one is actually the first, but Vanquish. Really cool third-person shooter by Platinum Studio. I really like their style. Um, and also very curious about it and cannot wait to play it because it was directed by Shinji Mikami, the same guy who directed and created basically Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, all these series that I love when he worked at Capcom. But then he left for his own work like Studio Clover. He helped for Resident Evil 4, then he went to Platinum. A fantastic game developer, a legend in gaming. So I was when I saw this game for I don't know €5 or something, say that catch this is mine. And the thing is, all of these games I didn't play them because as I said in my previous video, I couldn't put Mass Effect and 1 and 2 down when I started to play them. So all the other games were on hiatus for the moment, and until I finish the Mass Effect trilogy on the PS3, then I don't know when it's going to happen. Sooner than later, I hope. I will be able to play all these other games. So Vanquish, the first one, just have some notes here so I can follow them and tell you all these games. Then we got Shadows of the Damned. In both cases, by the way, I forgot to say, both Vanquish and Shadows of the Damned, I heard a lot of good recommendations and reviews on both these games by YouTubers that I follow very frequently, like Steven the Lucky Gamer, Alex Return to Mother Base. So when I saw them for both of them for um, really low prices, I couldn't resist. I had to buy. So Shadow of the Damned, Suda51, and Shinji Mikami again. This sort of psychological horror, but comedy in that wacky way that it's typical of Suda51, of course. And it's probably like the first that I actually looked after when I went to GameStop because I really wanted Shadow of the Damned, and I cannot wait to play this. Resonance of Fate, an RPG for PS3, Xbox 360, developed by the Yakuza team, by Sega, internal team of Sega. So it looked very cool. This is the last one that one of the last one that I bought because it was one of my latest day in Italy. So I was looking around GameStop, and I saw this, and reading behind, it was like, oh, this it seems like an interesting RPG. Oh, it's by the Yakuza team. It might be interesting. Let's try it out. It was very cheap again, so for the most part, that's the reason I was following recommendations or suggestions or looking at the price tags because there were like more recent games, of course, but they were really expensive, like Tales of Xillia 2 for 60 euros. And say, not going to happen, even though I want to play it. Another game, Binary Domain. Since Alex Returned to Mother Base was kind of enthusiastic about this third-person shooter game, I have to got it. I have to buy it. And again, cannot wait to play this. Lost Planet Extreme Condition, third-person shooter by Capcom. I think it's kind of an early PS3 game, or I think it was originally thought as a 360 exclusive, but then they published also for PlayStation and PC. This action game in this frozen world or something like that. I never played it, so I just saw videos back then. But it looked interesting. Some friends said, "Oh yeah, it's not bad. You might like it." So we'll see when I will be able to play it. And these are the games that I bought on my own with some of my money. My parents gave me some money. I can say like, but nowadays, contrary to once, they give me money more willingly in order to buy games. When I was young, it was totally very different. It was very hard getting games back then, but now it's things have changed. And then the last two games were a gift from my best friend Andrea, and he really if he knows me so well because he gave me The Last of Us, and I surely don't need to talk about this game. And it was amazing because we've met each other at GameStop, which is pretty close to my home, like 15 minutes by car. And we were talking, and then we were looking at some games, and I looked at The Last of Us. Said, "Oh, this must be a fantastic game. I really wanted to buy it and didn't have the chance." And it looked at me like, oh my god, he's gonna find out." But then I didn't buy it. And then when we exchange gifts, they say, "There you go. Oh, The Last of Us," and we were just talking about it. So it's great, and wow, I can. It was really cool opening a gift and seeing like The Last of Us. Receiving video games for Christmas, it's always so cool. And behind The Last of Us, there was this game that I never heard before, and I was like, "What is this?" And it's something called Itsled. And we tried, and it's a really fun third-person shooter, but it's mainly a parody of the gaming industry, of the gaming world. I mean, the protagonist, Matt Hazard, or Hazard, I don't know what to call him, it's so much fun. It's all the time he's like breaking the fourth wall, making jokes, making fun of himself in a way. It's this sort of ridiculous parody of Duke Nukem and all other game characters or game situations. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was kind of clunky, but we didn't care. We had a blast playing this game for a couple of hours that same day. So yeah, these are the PS3 games that I managed to gather at Christmas mainly. And so we can move to the second part of the video, which are the pickups that I can actually show you. There's still a lot of stuff, don't worry about that. And let's start with my Amiibo, because yes, I bought an Amiibo like everybody else and their mothers. So, but I was interested only into one Amiibo. I didn't care about all the others. I didn't want a complete collection of like 15 Amiibos and everything. I just want one Amiibo. And of course, that is Samus. I don't know why I kept it sealed yet. I will open it soon, but I really wanted Samus. And I remember when I went to games, I bought this in the UK before Christmas. When I went to games, the cashier was like looking at this, like, "This is really cool, yeah, yeah, I know." Uh, so glad to have my own Amiibo. But as I said, it's the only one I really wanted. There's plenty of good ones like Link, Marth, and all the others. Samus, Samus, because I love Metroid. That is the one that I wanted. And let's move on to movies, because I only got two for Christmas, thanks to my mom. She gave me these two because she knows that I love these directors. And it's interesting and kind of sad in the same way, because they're both the last movies by these directors. The first one, it's, even though it's the Italian edition, the movie is the same, of course. It's The Wind Rises by Miyazaki, the last movie that he did before he retires now. So this, I saw this day one at cinema. It's so beautiful. It's such a charming movie, and everyone must watch The Wind Rises. It's gorgeous, like always. The art, the story. It's such a beautiful novel version of a biography of this Japanese engineer who developed the famous fighter plane Zero, Zeke, as it called. But it's so good. It's a gorgeous movie, and a friend of mine actually didn't like it because said, "Oh, it's not your typical Miyazaki movie. There's no fantasy." Everything. Say, I know it's different, but it's wonderful. And the next movie, it's again the last of a director who is a favorite of mine, and that is Akira Kurosawa, and it's his last movie, Madadayo. And I cannot wait to see. I've been planning to watch this movie in a couple of days, but I couldn't find the time. I really want to watch this. It's mainly this old professor who celebrates his birthday together with his students, and there is this ritual in Japan which is called the Madadayo, which means not yet in Japanese. And basically, from what I read, it's they ask you something like, "Are you ready to die?" or something, or "Are you ready?" And the to die, it's not included in the sentence, but it's the real meaning, because like you're old, something like that. And the host says Madadayo, like not yet, because I want to live, I want to enjoy my life. So must be a gorgeous movie. I cannot wait to see this, and another brick in my increasing Kurosawa collection. Fantastic! Cannot wait to watch Madadayo. And I also bought two books, and I already read one during New Year's Eve, and I'm reading the other one. And this one, it's not really game related, but it's in the zone in a way, and that it's Morabito, Guardian of the Spirit by Naoko Uehashi. Sorry for my lame pronunciation, but and Morabito, it's an anime series. When it was aired, I don't remember, some years ago. When I watched it, I thought, wow, this is really cool, actually, because it's an interesting series. Whoa. Go watch it if you find it on internet, or if you manage to buy the DVD or anything else, because it's really good. It's really well done. It's a beautiful series, but the way it ends, it's very open. So I was reading some comments on the last episode, and we're like, well, what kind of end is this? It's not clear at all. I was expecting this and this. But then I did some research, and I understand that this is a big series, actually. In Japan, there are like 10 books, while in the West, only 2 were translated, and they did only one series, which is focused on the first book, which is this one, basically. I recognize all the facts, all the events, all the characters. It's the animated series. The animated series is more focused on like the half of the book, which is the time that the main characters Balsa and Chagum spend together, which is good. It's a really nice way to see these two characters grow attached to each other, to very different characters. But in the book, it's very good. I cannot wait to buy and read the second one, because it's actually very nice. I highly recommend the Morabito series. Watch the anime, read the books if you can find them. They're not very expensive, so it shouldn't be a problem. Morabito, really cool series. And this is one of the first books based on games that I bought and read. And it was an obvious choice for me because since I played the first game, I'm becoming more and more interested and obsessed in a way with Mass Effect. Of course, I really well. There's one siren after the other now. I really like the Mass Effect series. I played the first one, immediately started the second one, and I didn't have enough time to finish the second game. So I wanted to explore more uh, this universe, to expand my knowledge on the Mass Effect universe and characters. And I discovered that there are books based on the games. So I say, well, let's try one of these books. And I bought and already finished the first one, which is Mass Effect Revelation. I already showed this in one of my previous videos, I think, but officially it's for this one, for the pickups. And this is actually a nice read. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it. It's a prequel of the first game. It's focused on the character of Dave Anderson, who you know who he is from the first game and the rest of the series. But this is how he is introduced in the Mass Effect storyline, how he encounters Saren, the mission he talks about during the first game. It's this book, basically. And it's pretty cool, actually. You discover something with Saren, his progressive fallen, and how he uh, discovered Sovereign. So, really cool read. And speaking of Mass Effect, I'm keep buying things Mass Effect related, so I couldn't miss Mass Effect Paragon Lost, an animated movie, which its setting is during the events of Mass Effect 2, since the protagonist, James Vega, from what I know, is actually a character of Mass Effect 3. I'm not sure, this is just what I read. It's one of the first human and Alliance member who actually encounters and fights the Collectors. So it's based on the story of Mass Effect 2. Even though like Shepard is mentioned, but all these Mass Effect, not really side stories, but expansions are all based around other characters, not on Shepard. But that's not normal to me because Shepard is such a personal character. Each Shepard is different, even though there is a canon type of Shepard. It could be weird, I think, having a book on Shepard, but it might be interesting. Who knows? But Paragon Lost, really cool, excellent animation, and its main focus, other than the story, of course, it's actually the choices that Mass Effect players have to make on certain occasions. Is the title, hence the title, Paragon Lost. All are like Paragon and Renegade choices, because during the story, Vega must take some really difficult decisions, and from his choices, the life of people is on the line. So it's really cool. I didn't expect the ending of this. Highly recommend this for every Mass Effect fan. Really cool anime movie of Mass Effect. I couldn't skip this. It's really cool. 2 more games. We're almost done. I'm trying to speed up a little so it not be an extremely long video. And of course I have to buy a couple of games for my PSP, since I love this system so much and I'm always keen on expanding my collection. And the first game, it's from a series which I always loved. I mean, it's one of my favorite RPG series of all time since the first time I tried it on the PS1, and I'm trying to complete the series. And I always wanted to get this game, but sometimes it was expensive, or I just bought something else. But I couldn't skip this time because it wasn't too expensive. Wild Arms XF. Now, I know that this is kind of a different Wild Arms. It's more of a tactical RPG, and that's fine. I don't mind it, actually. I really like tactical RPG. So I'm really curious to see what's about this game. And interesting to find a different kind of Wild Arms. So yeah. And the main event in terms... There's still 2 games, actually, not... The main event for my PSP collection is actually a game that I always wanted to buy. And once I was listening to another gaming podcast, and Steven Langy Gamer was talking about this game in such high regards and saying it's amazing, you must have it. And when I saw it for a really, really reasonable price, I just bought it instantly on Amazon. Jeanne d'Arc by Level 5. Finally got this game. Um, by many gamers, this is considered the best strategy RPG on the PSP. I cannot wait. This is the next game I'm gonna play after the one I'm trying to finish. So close to finish it. And it looks amazing. I mean, I try to avoid videos or anything on this recently because I don't want to spoil it. I want to enjoy this game 100%, and I cannot wait to play Jeanne d'Arc on PSP, level 5. Fantastic. And finally, the last thing, yes, there's one more game I forgot to mention before. It's actually in here, on my phone. Yes, because I bought Dragon Quest II, the iOS version. I'm playing right now, but I've stopped it for a while, and I have to go back to it. Because I played, finished, and love immensely Dragon Quest 1, naturally. Now I have to play and finish 2, so I can move on to 3, of course, because I want to finish and complete the Eldritch trilogy, the first 3 Dragon Quest games. It's so far, with a brief exception, I never touched, because these games were never released in Europe, to my knowledge. I just rented once for a couple of days Dragon Quest 3, but now, listening to the enthusiasm of longtime fans like Dustin Price or other players, and I can confirm this because these iOS versions are so good. They are actually amazing ports of these games, probably the definitive way of playing them, I dare say. But once I manage to finish this Dragon Quest 2, I'll do a discussion, of course, like first one, and I cannot wait to replay 3 after so many years. So that's it. These were my pickups for December and January. A lot of stuff. Sorry for the PS3 games, I couldn't show it to you, but for practicality, I decided to left them in Italy because I cannot play my PS3 here. It's just a waste of space. Thanks for watching, guys. Like always, I'll try to finish my game as soon as possible so I can publish the video, the discussion video. More are coming. As I said, thanks for watching. Take care.